New on Sunrise, police search for two carjacking suspects who crashed the car they stole, where that car was taken from and how many people were hurt. Plus, new information about a fatal plane crash in Kentucky, what we're learning about the victims, and how the 7-year-old sole survivor found help nearby.
And we have another wet Saturday on tap. Copious amounts of rain pushing into the area. Also a little bit of freezing rain. I'll have the details.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Sunrise starts now.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Sunrise at 6 o'clock on your Saturday morning. I'm Naomi Peskovitz here with Kelly Green, who I wish had some better news for us this morning. Unfortunately, a lot of rain and then followed by cold.
Yes, the good news is it's going to be pretty mild today, but yes, we're going to be dealing with rain and then much colder air moves in tomorrow. So let's take a look at live Doppler 13 radar right now, and we still have mainly rain, but still tracking a little bit of freezing rain in north central Indiana here in Wabash. Likely seeing a little bit of a mixture of some ice with that rain in Wabash and Largo along US 24. So if you are heading north, there have been reports of some icy conditions in portions of Elkhart and Fort Wayne. We do have a winter weather advisory that is in effect for Benton County until 10 o'clock this morning. Other portions of our viewing area, these have already been lifted out of that at 6 o'clock this morning. So we are going to see things improving because the air temperature has climbed above the freezing mark, but we're still going to be dealing with a lot of rain today. You can see the rain started to push in several hours ago and it will continue. This is just a very big system. Notice off to our southwest, heavy pockets of rain will continue to push into central Indiana throughout the day today. Currently it is 34 degrees, so the good news is we're above that freezing mark. This is just rain at this point with winds out of the east at 9 miles per hour, wind chill value of 27. Temperatures now at 33 degrees in Marion. Earlier it was below that, and we'll see temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 40s this afternoon, and the rain will continue this afternoon. Some areas could pick up around 1 inch, possibly even higher amounts along I-70 and areas to the south. I'll have more details on that coming up in your full forecast. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. New on Sunrise, police are looking for suspects in a carjacking followed by a serious crash. It happened overnight on the city's northeast side. IMPD officers recognized the stolen vehicle while at a gas station near 25th and Keystone. When the officers tried to approach the suspects, they took off northbound and crashed the car into two other vehicles near the intersection of 32nd and Keystone. One of those cars rolled over and injured 3 people inside. Police say one woman was pinned under the car. The injured people were taken to Methodist and Eskenazi hospitals. One listed in serious condition this morning. The other 2 are in stable condition. The car was reported taken last night from the 2500 block of Brookway Street, about a mile south of the crash scene. Police say the suspects ran away after the crash and are still at large this morning. Officers warn they could be armed. If you do have any information about the crash or carjacking suspects, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers, the number 262-TIPS. And a man is in serious condition this morning after a hit-and-run accident on the city's east side. Police say the driver was arrested a few blocks away from the scene. They say he hit a man and a utility pole around 3 this morning before driving away. The pedestrian was taken to Eskenazi Hospital and is in serious condition. Also new this morning, Metro Police have tracked down a car that was stolen from an Indianapolis mother with her baby girl sitting in the back seat. The carjacking happened just after midnight yesterday, this in the 6800 block of North Michigan Road. The woman was wrapping up a purchase inside the Northwest Side gas station. She says she was gone for less than a minute, but before she returned, she spotted a man driving away in her car with her 5-month-old daughter still inside. She went running out and screaming at the suspect's accomplice, who was in another vehicle, asking him to stop. Minutes later, the carjacker pulled over near a bus stop down the street and left the baby on the ground before taking off. The child is safe and sound this morning, but the terrifying ordeal is now prompting her mother to send an important message to other parents.
My message to everybody that leaves their baby in the car while they're going in the gas station, it could be for anything, the quickest little thing, take your child out the car. I never in a million years thought that would happen to me, but it did. It happened to me, so I just want everybody to be aware. Don't leave your kids in the car with your keys in the ignition.
Police recovered her stolen car late last night near 33rd and Ralston. That's about 7 miles away from the gas station where it was taken. We're learning new information this morning about a small plane crash that killed 4 people in western Kentucky. A 7-year-old girl survived with only minor injuries, but after the crash, she walked to a neighbor's home and called for help. The homeowner says she must have walked 3/4 of a mile through woods in the dark to reach his house. He says she told him that, quote, her mom and her dad were dead. She was in a small plane crash. The plane was upside down. She then asked if she could stay there. Police identified the other 2 victims as the girl's 9 and 14-year-old sister and cousin. The plane was traveling from Key West, Florida to Mount Vernon, Illinois. Federal officials say the pilot had reported engine problems just before that plane went down. As of this morning, search crews still have not found the wreckage. And we're learning new information this morning about a deadly crash that claimed the lives of 2 Muncie sisters. It's suspected that speed may have caused the crash. This happened to our west in Vermilion County near the Indiana-Illinois line. 18-year-old Annie Clark and her sister Caroline died when the pickup they were riding in slammed into a building. Investigators believe the 18-year-old driver, Ethan Lee, lost control of the vehicle after traveling over a rise in the road. Lee hit an embankment, went airborne, and then crashed through the wall of a small business. Lee was flown to an Indianapolis hospital with neck and internal injuries. A third passenger, 18-year-old Braden Hollowell, also died at the scene. A woman inside that business was also hit by debris and is in the hospital this morning. Police say the victims in the vehicle were not wearing seatbelts. We've also learned the 2 teen boys were both members of the North Vermilion High School football team, which won the state championship this past November. A suspect is in the hospital this morning after a police chase ended in a crash on the east side. It ended on Ribble Avenue near 30th and Emerson late last night. Officers say they were forced to fire their weapons when that suspect tried to run them over. At the end of the chase, police say the suspect hit a utility pole, bringing down power lines. Police say the suspect tried to run away but was stopped by a police canine.
He murmured some utterances about kill me or something like that. We don't know, but that's what initial reports revealed.
The suspect is in the hospital this morning with dog bite injuries. No officers were injured in the chase. The officer who fired his gun has been placed now on temporary leave. Well, police have tracked down one of the cars suspected in a deadly hit and run on New Year's Eve. It happened in the 4000 block of North Franklin Road at about 9 o'clock Wednesday night. A family member says victim James Ragland was crossing the street to meet a friend who was coming to pick him up. Just before that friend arrived, though, 2 cars hit James Ragland and then took off.
Shame on you. Leave a person like that. It's not right. It's just not right. I don't know what else to say.
Again, police tracked down one of those cars last night. The driver is cooperating with police. Officers are still looking for the second car involved, which is an older model Ford Explorer. Kelly Green back now again, and it is a rainy morning.
Yes.
It's wet out there.
The good news is we're seeing just rain at this point. We did have some brief freezing rain event here and there, especially in our north central viewing area. But now just rain as temperatures have climbed above the freezing mark, but we are dealing with a lot of rain today, possibly even some thunder. I'll have the details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
And taking a break from technology, why some say it could actually be good for you. Plus, a man left dangling from a Las Vegas zip line, how crews were able to get him down. Welcome back. Crews will resume their search today for bodies and wreckage from the AirAsia jet crash. So far, 30 bodies have been found and 4 crash victims have been identified and returned to family members. Vessels from the U.S. and 3 other countries are part of the search for the 162 people who were on board that plane. Crews are also looking for the plane's wreckage and black boxes. The search for victims and the wreckage has been slowed by high winds and heavy seas. Today, the second of 2 New York police officers killed in an ambush shooting will be remembered at a funeral. Officer Wenjin Liu will be honored during a ceremony at a funeral home in Brooklyn. Then tomorrow, a Chinese ceremony led by Buddhist monks will precede a traditional police ceremony. Liu and Officer Rafael Ramos, who was buried last week, were killed last month as they sat in their patrol car. Killings raised emotions in an already tense national debate over police conduct. Recent tension between police and the public is sparking a new effort to recognize their life-saving work. Law Enforcement Appreciation Day will be held next Friday, January 9th. It's a nationwide initiative to show support for officers and the risks they take to protect their communities. Organizers are asking people across the country to thank them for their service. They suggest wearing blue clothing that day or sharing a story on social media about a positive experience with police. A man stuck dangling from a Las Vegas zip line is back on the ground after being rescued by firefighters. He was hanging about 100 feet above a street for nearly an hour. Firefighters rescued the rider from Slotzilla shortly after 3 yesterday afternoon. Crews had to use a bucket to reach the man, who was thankfully not injured in that accident. Wow, that is crazy, but
my gosh.
Good thing he's okay this morning.
Yeah.
And the next few days around here, we're going to take a downturn cold.
It definitely is going to be a major changer as the system continues to push in. Right now we're on the warm side of it, so we're seeing just rain, but definitely falling temperatures tomorrow, even some snow. Let's take a look here at our radar and satellite. Lots of clouds and certainly the rain. We have pockets of heavy rain that will be pushing in by late morning into the afternoon, and that will continue as we head into the evening hours as well. This is just a very large system to our southwest. All of this moisture is going to continue to push into the area as the system moves in closer over the next 24 to 36 hours. Currently, it is a soggy 34 degrees. The good news is, or now it's 35, the air temperature is above the freezing mark. So that is definitely some positive news this morning. It's 36 in Greensburg, still 32 in Richmond. May see a little bit of freezing rain there. 35 in Muncie, 33 degrees in Lafayette, and 34 in Crawfordsville. Now, future track keeps this system pushing in throughout the morning hours. Heavier amounts of rain will start to push in late morning, and we may even hear a few rumbles of thunder with this. It'll continue to bring pockets of heavy rainfall into the afternoon. It'll start to thin out a little bit as we head into the evening hours, but it will still be around. Light drizzle through the afternoon and on into the evening. So here's a look at your forecast today. Rainy conditions, winds will be out of the south. That will keep it pretty mild today. Temperatures will climb to near 50 degrees later this afternoon. So that is the positive news. But as we head into the evening hours tonight, temperatures will begin to fall. They'll fall into the mid-30s by morning. The rain will start to thin out quite a bit by Sunday morning, but it will still be around tomorrow morning. In fact, by the time it's all said and done by tomorrow morning, some areas could pick up around 1 inch of rain, and even areas south of I-70 could see around 1 to possibly 2 inches of rain out of this storm. Now tonight, temperatures fall to 39 degrees, so that's pretty mild. But what will happen throughout the day is that temperatures will continue to fall all afternoon on Sunday. Check this out with our future track temperatures. They will fall throughout the afternoon down into around 30 degrees by late afternoon, 27 by 5 p.m. And we also will see a little bit of that rain shifting over to some snow showers. So keep that in mind, especially if you are doing any kind of traveling tomorrow. We'll see the snow showers continue to push in. So as we head into the afternoon tomorrow, it will be a blustery one. The winds will be picking up out of the west-northwest from 10 to 20 miles per hour. We could see gusts around 30 miles per hour. Temperatures, notice, tumbling throughout the day down to around 26 degrees by 5 p.m. and we will see some light snow. Not expecting a lot of accumulation out of that, but nonetheless it will be significant. Here's a look at future track wind chill values as we head into Monday morning. The temperatures will continue to fall to 8 degrees. Wind chill values will be running below 0. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. A mild day today with that high of 48 degrees, but temperatures fall to 39 tomorrow morning, continuing to fall throughout the day down to 25 degrees by late afternoon. And check out Monday. 8 degrees for that low, 16 for the high, and then we do have a clipper system that will push in on Tuesday, bringing us a chance of snow late Monday night into Tuesday. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. This week, many smokers are doing one of the best things possible for their health, making a resolution to quit. It can be a daunting task, but one the American Lung Association says is achievable. One of the most important tools is a good support system. Experts recommend telling friends and family about trying to quit so they can offer encouragement. There are also 7 medications approved by the Food and Drug Administration to help people quit smoking. And a reminder, quitting cold turkey is rare. Experts say the key is to keep quitting over and over until you finally quit for good. And a resolution to cut back on technology in the new year may also be good for your health. One recent study found smartphones and other electronic devices interfere with marriages. Brigham Young University researchers surveyed 143 women who were either married or living with a partner. Nearly 2/3 said using cell phones and computers interrupted interactions with their significant others, often or all of the time. Well, those who reported the most technoference in their relationships said they fought more at home and were more likely to feel depressed and less satisfied with life. Many of us hope to slim down in 2015, and a new device could help. It's the same technology used to crush kidney stones. Focused ultrasound is now being used to take away layers of fat. Monica Robbins explains.
Imagine relaxing for an hour while a high-tech focused ultrasound machine blasts your fat.
It might get a little bit warm. It's not uncomfortable, it's not painful, it doesn't hurt afterward, there's no downtime.
It's called UltraShape. Vicki Smith works for Dr. Lydia Parker and was one of the first patients to try it a month ago. After 3 treatments 2 weeks apart, she lost
Almost 2 inches in circumference.
Vicki's fat is bunched up with straps, and then the technician sets the target points, then follows the machine like a video game, zapping each dot with a pulse point of ultrasound.
We're shattering fat cells. We're killing them, we're destroying them, they're gone, they're permanently gone.
The machine blasts holes in the fat layer and eventually causes it to collapse on itself. If you regain the weight
will redistribute in other places, but you'll always be relatively thinner there.
As for the fat, your body absorbs it and then eliminates it naturally in the restroom, which Vicki says were frequent visits at first.
The machine was developed in Israel. It's been around for 8 years, used in 50 some other countries, but now it's finally here in the U.S.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, obviously it's a jump start. You still need to exercise and watch what you eat, but I mean, if you want to jump start your workout program for the beginning of the new year, why not?
Right now, the UltraShape is FDA approved to treat abdominal fat, but soon new devices will be approved to treat other parts of the body. The drawback here, yep, it's expensive. It depends on the size of the area to be treated, but expect a minimum of $3,000 just to start. Patients must have at least 1 inch of fat to do this procedure still. Well, ahead on Sunrise, will Mike Pence decide to run for governor or president? Coming up, why he may be able to run for both. Plus, it's a chilly and rainy morning, but hundreds will enjoy the outdoors today. We'll tell you about the annual Polar Bear Pedal. That's next on Sunrise. Will he stay or will he go? Governor Mike Pence has a decision to make. Should he run for governor or president? Or will he be able to run for both? Eyewitness News political reporter Kevin Rader has that story.
Governor Mike Pence says all the right things.
I'm focusing all of my energies on the upcoming session of the General Assembly.
But 5 days before the 2015 legislative session is scheduled to begin, the governor's refining his foreign relations resume with a 9-day trip to Israel.
From my 2 years leading the great state of Indiana, I can say that support for Israel in the United States has never been stronger. My pledge is that I'm going to stay completely focused on the future of the people of Indiana and this coming session of the General Assembly. And after that adjourns, my family and I will probably take some time to sit down and make decisions about our future.
That timetable might be delayed even more if a proposed bill allowing him to run for governor and president at the same time is passed out of the legislature in the upcoming legislative session.
The greatest privilege of my life is to serve as governor of the state of Indiana. And we certainly have taken steps in the first 2 years to be in a position to reapply for this job. But I think the people of Indiana expect their governor to be focused on their future and not on politics and future campaigns. And that's what I'm doing. And so we're focusing all of our energies on preparing for this upcoming session of the General Assembly. And after that's over, we'll do what we've always done, take some time as a family to reflect and even to pray about where we think we might best serve.
Just because a lawmaker proposes a bill, in this case one allowing the governor to run for president at the very same time, doesn't necessarily mean it will pass or even be heard. Republicans do have supermajorities in both bodies here, in the House and the Senate, but it will be interesting to see if leaders in those two bodies will want to use that muscle for one man. At the State House, Kevin Rader, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
And as Kevin says, the 2015 General Assembly starts on Tuesday. Indiana's Attorney General is asking lawmakers to regulate e-cigarettes. Greg Zeller wants vape shops to be licensed and regulated. He wants e-cigarettes to be included in the state's smoking ban, and he's asking that e-cigarettes be taxed like traditional tobacco products.
The lack of any regulation at this point has really made this a huge area of expansion, again, without much knowledge of some of the future problems that we might expect.
The tax rate would increase the cost of e-cigarettes by about 24% of the wholesale price. More than 1,000 cyclists are expected downtown this morning for the annual Polar Bear Pedal. Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard hosts this event every year to highlight Indy's growing bikeways. The event starts at 10 a.m. today at City Market. It's free and open to cyclists of all ages. 1,100 people have already pre-registered and are ready to brave the chilly and rainy conditions this morning. This is the 4th year for the event. We will take you live there during our 8 o'clock hour of sunrise. Well, police are on the lookout for an armed robber who held up a Franklin gas station. Coming up, how you can help police identify the suspect.
And it will be another soggy Saturday across central Indiana. This large system is going to bring copious amounts of moisture into the area. Just rain right now, but we are tracking a chance of some snow showers for tomorrow. I'll have those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
Now on Sunrise, the latest on a developing story as 3 innocent people are in the hospital and the search continues for 2 suspects in a carjacking. I'm Matt McCutcheon, the very latest coming up live.
And police are on the lookout for an armed robber who held up a Franklin gas station. Coming up, the video that police hope will help identify the suspect.
After a pretty quiet work week, the changes are definitely moving in today. We'll see some abrupt changes in temperatures and in precipitation. I'll have those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News at Sunrise continues.
Good morning and welcome back to Sunrise. Time now 6:30 on your Saturday morning. I'm Naomi Peskovitz here with Kelly Green. Hard to believe we have to say enjoy today with all the rain out there, but temperature-wise, it's going to be the best we'll see in quite some time.
Yeah, exactly. We are definitely going to see some tumbling temperatures, especially tomorrow, and then really the coldest air that we've seen in several months. So it's definitely going to be significant changes on the way. Here's a look at live Doppler 13 radar. We're seeing just rain at this point for the most part, with the exception of Wabash, Largo along US 24 and LaFountain. Also seeing some light mixture of some freezing rain at the surface. So if you are traveling to northern Indiana this morning, keep that in mind. There are reports of some icy conditions in Fort Wayne and Elkhart at this hour. So here's a look at the winter weather advisory. We still have an advisory in effect for Benton County until 10 o'clock this morning. Things are improving though all across central Indiana. The air temperature climbing above the freezing mark. So this is just rain for most of us, and we're going to see some pockets of heavier rain as this very long, deep system will start to push in a little bit closer. Later this morning, we'll see some heavier rainfall, possibly even a few rumbles of thunder. It's currently 35 degrees with winds out of the east at 9 miles per hour. Wind chill value of 28 degrees. Temperature right now at 33 in Lafayette. 33 in Marion, still 32 in Richmond. That one concerns me. May see a little bit of freezing rain there as well. 36 in Greensburg and 37 in Bloomington. Now, Future Track 13 shows this next wave of heavier rainfall pushing in likely during the 8 o'clock hour. 9 o'clock this morning, we'll still see some heavy rainfall. Rumbles of thunder possible throughout the day today, and we'll see temperatures climbing into the upper 40s this afternoon. Winds will be out of the south from about 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high near 48 degrees. Major changes though for tomorrow and into the work week. I'll have those details coming up on Sunrise.
Kelly, thank you. We are following a developing story this morning on Sunrise as 2 suspects steal a car and later crash it, injuring some others. This happened on the city's northeast side near 25th and Keystone. Sunrise reporter Matt McCutcheon is there live with the latest developments. Matt, good morning.
Naomi, good morning. Police are still searching for the 2 suspects this morning, and they're actually hoping that surveillance video from the Shell gas station at the intersection of 25th and Keystone can help them zero in and get a better description out of the 2 suspects still on the loose this morning. Everything unfolded late last night around 11:30, in fact, in this area, when police say that there was a reported carjacking in the area. Officers noticed that car here at this gas station, and that's when everything quickly spiraled out of control with that crash that sent one woman being pinned underneath of a car and another vehicle on its side. In all, 3 cars involved, 3 innocent people taken to the hospital.
Black males looked at them, got in the vehicle, and fled northbound on North Keystone, where they collided with 2 vehicles, one traveling north, one traveling south on Keystone Avenue.
As for those 3 people, they are both at they're all at the hospital this morning. One of them in critical condition, the other 2 in stable condition. Police are still trying to look for those suspects. They searched a nearby apartment complex and curious if they had run over to that area. Anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 262-TIPS. They do believe they are armed this morning. We, of course, will continue to follow this developing story all morning long here on Sunrise. For now, reporting live, Matt McCutcheon, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. New on Sunrise, sheriff's deputies in Greene County are looking for an 18-year-old woman last seen on New Year's Eve. They tell us Marina Boltler is 5'3" with blonde hair and blue eyes. Her coworkers reported her missing when she didn't show up for work in Bloomfield, Indiana. She was last seen in the parking lot of the Bloomfield IGA. If you know anything about where she might be, you're asked to call the Greene County Sheriff's Department or Crime Stoppers. Investigators say a body discovered in a Sullivan County cornfield is that of a local woman who was 7 months pregnant. Police used dental records to identify the victim as 20-year-old Tiffany Adams. Her death has been ruled a homicide. A farmer harvesting his field found the woman on Tuesday, nearly 2 months after her family reported her missing. Tiffany was last seen November 5th walking just a block down the road to her mother's house. Detectives are now asking anyone with information on what may have happened the day of her disappearance to please come forward. Police in Franklin are looking for the armed robber who held up this gas station. The whole crime caught on camera. The suspect burst in with a weapon in hand, pointed what looks like a rifle or a shotgun, wow, at the cashier's head and demanded money.
He just put the gun on him and he said, "Give me all money. I need all money. Give me money." And he was scared and he just ran over behind this cigarette rack and he told him, "I will shoot you behind the rack. I will come across the counter. Give me all money if you want to. Just give me money."
The robber did get away with the stolen cash, running out and then back in to pick up what he dropped. Investigators believe the same man was driving this stolen SUV you just saw. They found it totaled at the I-65 Franklin interchange. Police searched for hours but could not find the man. This morning they're looking for a teenager, a white male dressed in black, injured, bleeding, and likely dangerous. It could be days before we learn the official cause for a fire in Lebanon that killed a mother of 3. 29-year-old Leslie Hawkins died Thursday when a fire broke out inside an older house that was divided into 2 apartments. Investigators say the unit did have smoke detectors, but no batteries. Now they're looking into whether her apartment had a working furnace. Neighbors who live downstairs say they often cranked up their own heat to help keep Hawkins' apartment warm.
I was aware of it and she had told me about it, so I mean the only thing I could do to help her out was keep my heat higher. So I just turned my heat up as high as I could get it to help them out up there, which so that way she didn't have to run the space heater.
Well, the heating sources in the old home are still under investigation. The woman's children were not home during the fire. They are now staying with relatives. Court documents reveal new disturbing allegations in the case of a candy store owner accused of molestation. William Gilliland of Pendleton is out of jail this morning on bond after his arrest earlier this week. He faces several charges of child molestation and possession of child pornography. In the court documents, at least 5 alleged victims, including a family member, accused Gilliland of touching them. Okay, in other news now, we're talking about the weather because we have a cold front ahead, some rain today, and then possibly snow.
Yes, we are tracking all of that. This is quite a winter storm system pushing in. Starting off mild today with heavy rainfall likely. I'll have those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
Plus, a very merry Swiftmas. Coming up, how singer Taylor Swift surprised her fans this holiday season.
And here's a look at what's trending today. Christmas may be over, but singer Taylor Swift is still spreading holiday cheer.
And Kelly is a huge Taylor Swift fan, in case you've missed it. All right, well, fresh off the success of her latest album, Swift has one final trick up her sleeve to drive her fans wild. In 2014, the superstar posted a video of her rapping and giving gifts to fans. They go crazy, of course. T-Swift used social media to learn the likes and dislikes of various fans and then selected presents to fit their taste. This event has become known as Swiftmas. I would have loved to get a Taylor Swift gift. I don't know what I would have asked for, but that's pretty cool. Just having it come from her directly is cool enough.
She's adorable. And U2 lead singer Bono reveals that he may never play guitar again following a bike accident.
Yeah, Bono wrote on his band's website that the injuries he suffered in November while riding his bike in Central Park now threaten his musical future. The 54-year-old's arm was shattered in 6 places. Bono admits the recovery has been more difficult than he thought. Bono is trying to get healed in time for U2's next tour, which is set to begin in May. A lot of fans obviously also hoping that he's okay because that's who he is.
Yes, they are an amazing band. I love them too. And fans of Elvis Presley have a rare chance to own a piece of pop culture history.
The iconic singer's private planes, named the Lisa Marie and Hound Dog 2, are going up for auction if you want one. But you can see these are no ordinary planes. The Lisa Marie is outfitted with a full bar and a penthouse bedroom. The planes are being sold together in a package deal by Julian's Auctions. The company says the planes are for display only and they can't even fly these planes, just to look at, I guess. Bidding started yesterday and the auction is expected to close in early February. So you can't just buy one, you have to buy both planes, and you can't fly them. But I'm sure they'll sell for a hefty price.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a good deal.
Sure. All right, well, today you will notice a lot of rain.
Yes, we are dealing with a very large storm system that is going to bring some major changes for the next couple of days. Right now, we're starting off with pretty mild temperatures, and the good news is this is rain only at this hour. So if you are traveling across central Indiana, that's the good news, but we do have some reports of freezing rain across extreme northern Indiana, South Bend, Elkhart, Fort Wayne, all seeing some icy conditions out of this system at this hour. So keep that in mind if you are traveling up I-69 or US 31 this morning. Things will improve as we head into the afternoon as temperatures continue to climb. But notice we've still seen several waves of rain that has pushed across the area over the past couple of hours, and all of it related with this large system. So we still have a lot more rain that will be pushing in. Now here's a live look from our Connorsville camera. We haven't had any reports yet from Connorsville or Richmond that they may see some icy conditions at this hour due to the temperature just kind of hovering right around that freezing mark. Right now, definitely some wet streets across the area. Currently downtown Indianapolis, it is wet and it is 35 degrees. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour, and our wind chill value making it feel like it's 29. Temperatures across the area still at 32 degrees in Richmond, 33 in Marion, 34 in Kokomo, 37 in Bloomington, and Seymour already at 38 degrees. So a mild start, and this rain will continue to push in as we head into the later morning hours. Could see some pockets of heavy rain. Even a few rumbles of thunder will be possible out of these showers and even some isolated thunderstorms today. But the rain will continue on and off throughout the day today. I do think it'll be pretty steady, even some drizzle as we head into the evening hours. So keep that in mind today. Cloudy skies, winds will be out of the south from 5 to 15 miles per hour at times. Temperatures will climb to 48 degrees, so very mild for this time of year. But later on, as we head into the evening hours, the rain will continue and temperatures will begin to fall. As we head into the morning hours, 7 a.m., temperatures will still be pretty mild in the mid-30s. But looking at our rain totals, we will see some heavy rain out of this system from 1 inch along and north of I-70, possibly some heavier pockets of rain south of I-70 by tomorrow morning. That will be the total out of the storm. As we head into tomorrow morning, temperatures fall to 39 and winds will be out of the south-southwest from 5 to 15 miles per hour. Now we will start to see this rain changing over to the snow. As you can see, temperatures will be falling throughout the day tomorrow. So anytime after 12 noon, I do think we could see some of that rain mixing with some snow. It'll continue into the evening hours. May see some light dusting, possibly even an inch in some locations. So keep checking back with us for the latest on that. Here's a look at your SkyTrack 13 forecast. High of 48 degrees today. Falling temperatures on Sunday. So we drop down to 39 tomorrow morning. High of just 25 Sunday afternoon. A blustery Sunday night as you're heading out of the Colts game. It is going to be brutal. We'll see wind chill values dropping below 0. Temperatures fall to 8 degrees Monday morning. High of only 16 on Monday afternoon. Bitter cold conditions will continue through the work week. We do have a chance of more snow late Monday night into Tuesday. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. Road crews this weekend are staying ahead of this winter weather threat. Here in Indianapolis, DPW called in a crew of 90 Indy Snow Force drivers. They're monitoring conditions. They did it all night long and put down salt as needed to keep the city's major roadways and secondary streets clear of any slick spots. INDOT tells us they're also prepared for the freezing rain heading our way. They have employees on call around the clock, ready to pre-treat the interstates and highways. Well, we're keeping you ahead of all the changes outside with our SkyTrack 13 weather app. It's a free download on your Apple or Android device. You have instant access to live Doppler 13 radar and up-to-minute conditions, and also the 7-day forecast. Well, Weekend Sunrise at the Movies takes a look at what's new in theaters each Saturday. Here's Raphael Seth with the box office preview.
I run a fair and clean business, and I will fight to my last breath to prove that.
Oscar Isaac's moral code may not survive a most violent year. This American dream drama takes place in 1981, the most brutal year in New York's history. He's an immigrant trying to run a business without getting involved in the crime and corruption that usually entails. But his wife is not quite so scrupulous. A most violent year is rated R.
They have no other relatives, so we're taking them to a house in the country.
Children take a trip to the unhappiest place on earth in The Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death. This one picks up 40 years after the Daniel Radcliffe chapter. A group of London orphans is forced to leave the big city for more inexpensive environs. The problem with this little fixer-upper is that the kids keep disappearing at the hands of an evil spirit. The Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death is rated PG-13. A Russian Cold War heats up in Leviathan. This foreign language film depicts a power struggle in a small town when the mayor fights back against a bigger bureaucrat who wants his land, who then puts the squeeze on the citizens to turn them against the mayor. Leviathan is rated R. That's the box office preview. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
Well, up next in sports, a football player with ties to Central Indiana is headed to the national championship. Coming up, which high school team he played for.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jason Spells. Coming up, the Indiana Pacers picking up a much-needed win on the road. Highlights from their game against the Milwaukee Bucks. And how close is Reggie Wayne to hanging up the cleats? Find out coming up in sports. Just wait till we get healthy. Good morning, Pacer fans. You've been making that chant for the last 2.5 months as the devastated lineup struggled to get wins for your blue and gold. But that all changed last week with the return of George Hill. Indiana won 3 out of their 5 games. That healthy streak coming to an end last night. Indiana beginning a 4-game roadie without G. Hill. A sore groin that calls Donald Sloan in for the start, getting the bank. Well, the bank's open at midnight. Keep in mind they're playing Central Time Zone. Donald Sloan, big night for him. That would give Indiana Pacers a lead. C.J. Miles would have a game-high 22 off the bench, 6 of 9 from 3. The Pacers hold on for their win, their second in a row, 94-91.
Every win's important. I mean, we just out here fighting. We know we got a chance and we buckle down, taking one game at a time. And it's always a chance for to get there. I mean, no offense to any other teams, we know the records, what the records are like in the East, and we know that we can dig out of this hole, especially with guys getting back healthy. We were a little short-handed tonight, but they're not lasting injuries, so we'll be fine.
Butler University removing the interim title from head coach Chris Holtmann, new head coach Chris Holtmann. He took over the program after the former coach Brandon Miller took a medical leave of absence earlier this season. During his trial run, Holtmann led the Dogs to a top 25 ranking. Butler 10-4 in the season. They visit St. John's this afternoon. Tip-off set for 4. The city of Indianapolis has a love affair with Reggie. For nearly 2 decades, fans have chanted the name. A tradition which began with Reggie Miller at Market Square Arena could come to an end this weekend with Reggie Wayne at Lucas Oil Stadium. The 36-year-old is in the final year of his contract, and nagging injuries have greatly affected his production this season. Still, the 14-year veteran has a major presence inside the Colts locker room. T.Y. Hilton leads the team in receptions, but he says he cannot continue to lead without Reggie Wayne.
I'm not gonna let him leave me right now, so yeah. I have a talk with him, whenever that time comes. I told him, talk to your family, talk to your kids, but when you finish with that, make sure you come talk to me. So our relationship is really growing. So I probably have a say so with that.
Since day one, since 2001, the first day I hit the Indiana state line, everybody here has embraced me. They've supported me. Whether it was good or bad, and I appreciate that. So I feel like, my way of giving back is just being loyal.
There are freezing temperatures making their way into the area this weekend and later this week. The Indiana Farmers Coliseum, well, that's already freezing there. Last night, the field hosting Toledo. Second period, take a look at Garrett Bembridge. Deflects the puck off his shoulder. His 10th goal of the season. The Toledo Wiley scored 8 last night. The field losing at 8-1. Back on home ice tonight as they host Reading. That's a look at sports. I'm Jason Spells. Everyone, I hope you have a great Saturday.
Jason, thank you. By now, Ohio State and Oregon will play in the College Football National Championship. So we checked the rosters of both teams. Found one player from Central Indiana. Terry McLaurin played at Cathedral High School. Number 25 was a star receiver for the Fighting Irish. McLaurin is now a freshman for the Buckeyes. He won 4 state championships at Cathedral and is now going to his first national championship. And to the Colts now. Fans started celebrating yesterday to get ready for tomorrow's playoff game at Lucas Oil Stadium. See all the fans there dancing. They lined up to get autographs at Circle Center Mall from players, cheerleaders, and of course from Blue. Well, one of Central Indiana's most successful high school football coaches will soon learn if he's won a trip to the Super Bowl, and you still have time to help him out too. Sheridan coach Bud Wright is one of 6 finalists in the NFL's Together We Make Football promotion. Coach Wright has been at Sheridan for 49 years and won 9 state championships. The NFL will announce tomorrow who will be honored at the Super Bowl 49 in Glendale, Arizona. That's on February 1st. You can still vote for Coach Wright online. We have a link at WTHR.com. Just click on Hot Topics. And if you have big plans for today, you'll need an umbrella, and in the next few days, a big coat.
Yes, absolutely. We are going to see some major changes today, pretty mild, and that's the good news. We have temperatures above the freezing mark in most locations, so it is rain only, but still dealing with some pockets of freezing rain and even possibly some snow near Logansport, Royal City, and also Burnettsville. Also possibly a little bit of freezing rain in Urbana and Largo this morning. So keep that in mind as you travel. Temperatures in the mid-30s in many locations, still at 33 in Lafayette and 32 in Connorsville. Temperatures this afternoon will climb to 48 degrees and then much colder as we head into tomorrow. Falling temperatures and blustery conditions as we head into Monday.
All right, more news and weather coming up at 8 o'clock right here on Channel 13.